When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Psalm 34, verses 17 through 19. Have you experienced a significant loss in your life recently? Perhaps you, a friend, or loved one has gotten bad news on the medical front. Perhaps you've lost a friendship because someone moved away. Perhaps you've gotten let go from your job when you thought you were giving your best. Perhaps your pet is suffering in ways that leaves you discouraged and wondering what to do. What are we supposed to do when that's our situation? First, cast your burden on the Lord. The psalmist writes in Psalm 55, verse 22, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you." And St. Peter reminds us in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 7, "Cast all your care upon him, because he cares for you." God cares about what's going on in our lives, and he doesn't want us to carry our burdens alone. Second, remember that God is sovereign. Jesus said, "Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? And not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father." He went on to say, "Fear not, therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows." God knows what is going on in our lives and will use our circumstances for good somehow, some way, in his perfect timing. The Old Testament character by the name of Joseph, after he was sold into slavery by his brothers, framed by Potiphar's wife, forgotten by Potiphar's butler, yet ultimately placed second in command to the Pharaoh, looked back over his life and the horrible, rotten things his brothers had done to him, and remarkably enough said to them in Genesis 50:20, "As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today." Oh, that by faith we might be able to say in our hearts to those who have wronged us, "You intended this for evil, but God has used it for good." And finally, know that God will give you the grace and strength you need to persevere. In our own strength, we might end up discouraged and defeated because of the loss that we face. But in the strength of the Lord, we can be overcomers. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, we receive the promise given to St. Paul from God, but applicable to us as well. "My grace is sufficient for you." And we can say with St. Paul in Romans 8:37, "No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." Dear friends, don't let the losses of this life leave you paralyzed, but be strong and courageous in God's strength. Press on in the Lord.